Good evening. This is Jaime, and you may not recognize me since I haven't done a close-up video uh, with my hair a little lighter. So be aware, still me. Um, I'm going to show you what I have here behind me, and I'm going to talk about my art, uh, mainly about me. It's what I'm trying to do here is a lot of times they say that people just talk about their work and but they don't talk about themselves, and they talk about how they do their work, and so we can go into that later on. But a lot of people don't know about the person. um, I'm basically a conservative person, I would say. uh, I'm sort of you know, very reserved. I I have not that many friends because I mean, real good friends are really hard to find, uh, to be honest. So what I'm going to try to do here is talk about me and not just about my work. And so if I can turn this around, I can show you. And I'm going to get rid of this couch in case somebody wants a couch before I go and call Goodwill. Sell this couch, or you can just pick it up. But what's behind me is my artwork. I got so much stuff here. Let's see. That's probably reversed. So this is just a little print here. I did this to show my watercolor technique some time ago, and I'm selling this print for $3.90. And I don't know whether you can see it in the proper way, but so I just wanted to talk about life in general. It's been a long journey for me, and I'm getting up in the age and don't even realize until you're there. As an artist, I guess artists do struggle in life, but I do have a lot of things that I can probably come back in terms of finances, because I do have a lot of artwork here to sell, and but what I wanted to talk about is what how my mind I mean how I'm uh, how I'm thinking, and mainly things that I do think it's been, I mean, it has to do with fashion. And so I started way back trying to see if I can find something that's more close to what I used to do. But again, on this video, I just wanted to talk about myself, but I keep going back and just talking about my artwork. This one here, I don't know whether you can see it. That's yeah. Okay, this is just a clown. My point to showing you this is I probably spend more time doing more drawing than doing paintings. Uh, but I wanted to just talk about myself and see how some of you can relate to uh, the ups and downs of whatever profession you're in. You were after it, but you didn't expect a lot of things to happen and so on. Anyway, I'm just a normal guy, a guy that really loves women. As you probably can see from my pictures, I have beautiful drawings of ladies and so on. And I got into the fashion business way back when I was in my 20s. And I actually got that job through a friend, through a friend that had a girlfriend that had a supervisor. And 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 that's how I got the job. I was a fashion illustrator, and I don't think I have even samples of that. But what I could show you is some of my artwork that I did that was close to that period, and I did them. You could say in black and white. That's why they used to do it. So this lady here, I'm about to show you. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, yeah. No, this is not very good. Here again, I'm talking about my art, and I wanted to talk about myself, but somehow I get into. I just wanted to. Oh, it's got to be behind me. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, so you can probably see her better. But I'll do another video, or actually, I'll do more close-ups of the photos. But this is a photo, or I should say a painting that I did that's close to the time that I was working at a company called Corette of California, which they used to be on 611 Mission Street in San Francisco. Now that company is no longer there. They left like 20 years ago, I think. They went somewhere else. So I just wanted to talk about myself, and I'm talking about the paintings. So let's concentrate on that. Anyway, I wanted to discuss. To tell my audience, where exactly I was born and so on. I was born originally in Panama, in Colón, Panama, and my mother met my dad in the 50s, early 50s, and so eventually she migrated first and brought my older sisters, and she got here to the States in 1958. That's what my sister said. And then we came later. Me and my other two brothers came later, and we came here in 1960, June of 60. And so my dad was still in the Navy, so it was easier for him to get the things that he needed to get. I mean, for us to be here. But it took some time. I mean, we had some. I mean, we had to save the money to come here. So, and you know, that was hard. I mean, for my parents, to like able to do that. So, um, so I came here in 1960. Me and my two brothers, and we started school right away, and I didn't even speak English that well. So, and then by in 5 years, we waited. We went. Well, my mother did all the paperwork, or she made us to be U.S. citizens. So I have that. So we went through the proper channels, and in 5 years we became U.S. citizens. My other two sisters were born in the military or inside the base, and so they didn't have to go through that, except one of them. And anyway, so that's where I'm from. But I really don't have the I guess I'm talking about any culture about how people in Panama would bring. I mean, the only thing we did bring was the way my mother cooked, but she was influenced by the Italians. I mean, we had a lot of Italians back in the 1940s and 50s, and that was the time after World War II, where she learned to speak Italian. So she spoke Italian, Spanish, and English. And so that's how she met my mother, my dad. And then they came here to the States. So I really don't have the culture of what people think, that if you're a Hispanic, you have a different culture. What you do have is how you were brought up. And the way we were brought up very religiously, with the idea of following the Catholic methods of doing stuff and so on. But I really didn't get into studying the religion until actually 15 years ago, or 20 years ago or so. So it's a different thing once you understand that what the meaning of what Jesus Christ stood for. He is to honor your man, and or be honor the Ten Commandments. So anyway, so that's how I was brought up through, and I used to live in Texas. That's another place I used to live, in Corpus Christi, Texas. And for the guys that or ladies that are still alive and know me, you may remember me. If you don't, well, that's fine. But there was one guy that I spoke to, and that's probably about 15, 20 years ago. I communicated with him on by email, I think it was. Yeah. I think it must have been in 2002. So that's the only person. And then there was another guy that actually moved from the same high school where I was. And he moved over here, and I actually worked for him a little bit. But he he closed his shop and he moved on. But I try to be, uh, well, let's say I try to do what motivates me. And a lot of my work has to do with the fashion or the pop trends of things. I like to draw anything that has to do with fashion, pop, music. I like to paint celebrities. So that's one thing you're going to be seeing is the celebrities. And what's behind me, I never done actually something this big. And it just takes a lot of headache when you paint something large. Because you got to move things around and it's hard. But so if you was to ask me, I mean, what sort of artist are you? I'm very neat. I'm trying to be. I'm a very clean in some ways. I'm orderly and let's see. If I'm old fashioned in terms, if I go out, with some, lady, I will open the door and so on. So that's a gentleman's tradition, and that's how I was brought up. But so as far as life itself, what I done is done. I done what I thought would motivate me to live longer and to be at the age that I'm in now, which I probably will reveal at some point, but you guys can probably figure it out by now. My goals, and well, I'm in California, so eventually I need to find a larger place. I need to find more work. I used to do a lot of, illustration and graphic design. So I need to find a gig again because about 3-4 years ago, I used to work for a newspaper locally, and I was there only like 3 days a week. And so that helped out, get things done. But one thing I wanted to say to other artists, not just the fans, before I go and talk about myself more, is that when you're in your 20s and you really want to be an artist, you got to think about that if you're gonna be self-employed, you got to think about putting money aside. And a lot of times when you work for, if you weren't an artist and you had a executive job, you at least will have some kind of, retirement. But most of the time, artists do not. I would say about 80% of real artists do not have a retirement plan. Like that K or whatever they call it. And so I would suggest working on that and putting that money where it's going to grow for you. So my money is really in my art. Like I tell people, if I was to sell everything, I'm worth over 200K. I just got to get it out sold, and I got to get I got to sell my art. And so we artists have to put our thoughts in decades ahead, because if you know you're doing great with your art, you need to plan ahead where it's going to multiply. And so once you understand that, you can literally be in a good state. Uh, but right now, I feel real confident about what I could do, and things are gonna change. Uh, and 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 I know in some ways the planet itself is gonna change. So you have to understand what's coming. You have to learn what's coming, and so being a artist, we are really special people, to be honest, because I see the singers, and it's the singers and people that sing, or they just or the sports guys. Yeah, any sports person that puts a lot of time into their profession, they're become really good at it. I mean, they have to focus, and a lot of times in my life in the past, I haven't really focused on what's important. All I've been focused on it's on the art itself. So that's why I'm just saying to the younger people that you need to see what's ahead, 10 years, 20 years ahead, uh, what you are just going to do. And you have to realize that being good at something doesn't make you, well, it doesn't make you sell something. So what you need to do is figure out your own life. And I had some, handicaps before, which was I wasn't able to communicate that well. But now I am, because what really helped me, to be honest, it was reading the Bible out loud in spirit, but putting my voice, like how Charles Heston, the actor that made the Ten Commandments, he actually put his whole self in there when he spoke, and he spoke, and he put the words out, and he sang. If you have issues talking and sometimes you get frozen, think about the flow of the word, whatever word you're saying. Anyway, so I was actually able to do that and accomplish that in my late 40s. So, and it took me a while before I did that. But anyway, that did help, and because I was reading the Bible, and then eventually at some point I actually studied the Bible under Jehovah's Witness people, and so that did help me. There was one gentleman that did help me a lot. I do remember that, and I actually got the painting here that I have to give him. Back to. Well, I want to give it to his children. One of them, or his daughter, and to thank them for what he did, because he did help me how to study the Bible. Okay, but we did have a disagreement on certain things, but that had to do with science. Anyway, he was a great person, and that's what I did the painting. So I'm a type of person that would honor my commitment to whoever I do a business with. And so when I do work for somebody, I always try to do the best thing, the best way, and the honest, and so on. And sometimes that doesn't really help, if you're trying to make it in life. But anyway, so I have a collection, hundreds and hundreds of collections of my work that I need to sell, and I'm going to be doing more videos of that. So I look forward to meeting some of you, and hopefully you will be my what they call my art collector fan, because I'll have some other paintings that's gonna be really higher than what I'm gonna show at the beginning. So most of the paintings that I'm gonna be showing at the beginning are gonna be less expensive paintings, and I'm gonna put them in eBay. Yeah, eBay. That's right. So it doesn't mean I'm gonna put the cheapy paintings in there only. No. It means that it's just a method to expose myself. Okay, that's all it is. And I learn from other people that are there. But that's what I'm gonna do. And so I thank you for listening to my my introduction about myself. And again, my name is Jaime R. Tosh. R stands for Ronaldo. And that was from, I think I had an uncle named, Ronaldo. My mother had, 10 brothers and sisters. So, and my mother's father was from, Colombia. So I got some Colombian in me way back. And then the other is more of the Caucasian, as we call it, the Spaniard. My mother's side, my mother had brown hair, and her parents were from Spain. So that's where my black hair comes from. But I heard that the black hair that migrated to Spain actually came from Sicily and Italy. And then what I'm hearing is the people from Sicily are related to the Persian Empire. So our black hair and the black hair that came to Spain came from the Persians through the Sicily. So we're all related. So Italians and Spaniards are all related to, and so some of those people moved to the Americas, and that's how the South America, Central America got the Spanish people over there, which they call them Castellanos. Yeah. So we have roots all the way to Persia, and this is where the people are really fighting out there. And I hope and pray that they get their freedom over there. I just feel sorry for them that they don't have that freedom. Yeah. So being in America, whoever's here in America really has to love this country. You should never, downgrade. This country. We should put our honor and our soul to this country and thank for being here. Every day you live. Okay. So I'm going to start doing another video. So the next videos will be about my art, and I'm going to describe each painting, why I did it, and so forth. So, and again, if you want to, buy this couch, I'll sell it really cheap. It's a it's got these patterns on it. But I need to get rid of it because it's just taking up too much time, space. And either that or I'm going to sell it to or I sell it to, Goodwill. That's right, Goodwill. So, thank you for listening, everyone. And I look forward for another video. And this is probably interesting video. And this is a shirt. I don't know whether you can see it right. Shirt that I designed some time ago. All right. Have a nice evening, everyone. And see you later.